Covering music-related content of all genres. If it filters through Eastern Texas, it's fair game. Y'all bring it. From Texarkana down to the coast and Dallas down to Houston and everything in between, we are ETX ROCKS!
Hit the brakes!
Cut!
Chad Malden here, music producer and mixing engineer for Malden Productions. You know, I want you to go to my website to get more information. I want you to go to maldenprod.com. That's MAULDINPROD, maldenprod.com. And you can find out about me, folks I've worked with. You can hear samples of my work, get any information that you need. And then also feel free to reach out because we're happy to answer any questions that you have or chat about anything that you want to chat about. Thanks a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of the ETX ROCKS podcast with Boston Chris. We're sitting here once again in the beautiful city of Bullard, Texas at Studio 333, and Mr. Chad Malden with Malden Productions is going to help me co-host this episode.
You bet.
So on June 1st of 2016, we started with this project called ETX ROCKS, and of course our very first guest was a young lady by the name of Kadie Lynn. That a lot of people have listened to that episode, and of course Kadie has been on the road to Hollywood and back several times over the last few months with America's Got Talent. Well, America's Got Talent is now over. The finale was last week, and we just came off the 2016 East Texas Music Awards, and this is now episode 30. And we're right back here with Kadie Lynn again. So episode 1, episode 30. We want to thank you for this exclusive opportunity to interview you once again.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. So Chad and I are very, very blessed to have you here in Bullard with us. And you won 3 awards this past Friday night at the 5th annual Red Carpet event of the East Texas Music Awards.
Thank
Absolutely. Second year running female vocalist of East Texas. How does that feel?
You know, that was the award that I was the most excited about, the one that I was nominated for, because not only did I get nominated for Female Vocalist, but I got it 2 years in a row, and I thought that was really awesome, and thank you guys so much for voting.
And I think it's really cool, too, that, you know, in the last year, your name has kind of exploded nationally as far as America's Got Talent, but you had the fans supporting you before that enough for you to win last year before America's Got Talent. So East Texas has known who Kadie Lynn is for a long time. I just wanted to put that out there because here in East Texas, we know Kadie Lynn. And just because she has exploded and everybody nationally gets to know your voice and your smile and all of that now, we've known you and we've been proud of you for a long time.
Thank you.
So, and of course, you've been doing this since you were old enough to walk, like 3 years old, and you've been strumming on that guitar for almost 10 years and singing. And
well, I've been doing guitar for almost 6 years.
Well, I knew that. I was just testing you. You did really good on that question, by the way.
Yeah, you passed.
Thank you.
So what does singing mean to you?
I mean, everyone thinks it's just a hobby or something, but honestly, it's not even what I do. It's just a part of me. It's who I am, and I'm very proud of it, and I can't wait to push it even further.
And, you know, we've heard some news and some rumors that we can't discuss today,
Nope.
but you guys need to follow Kadie Lynn on all of her different social medias, Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, because there's going to be some huge news coming very shortly that we can't talk about today here. But maybe in the near future, maybe episode 100, we can have Kadie back.
Yes,
and
totally.
talk about it.
Yep.
You'll be my my Ed McMahon. She probably has no idea who that is.
I don't.
That's a generational thing.
I've heard of
who's
him.
the guy with Conan O'Brien?
I can see him. Andy.
Andy.
Yeah.
Andy's the from Conan O'Brien. That's Ed McMahon for us. So
She has no
okay.
idea.
you know, we have one more generation.
All right, so there used to be this thing called The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and there was.
I've heard of him. I just don't know who it is.
Well, Ed McMahon is the guy from Publishers Clearinghouse, real deep voice, and he was kind of the sidekick of Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
So like his number
Andy
one
Rickman
guest.
on Conan
There you
O'Brien
go, there you
is
go.
Conan's sidekick, so to speak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of
Sweet.
course, nowadays we have Jimmy Fallon. He doesn't need a sidekick.
He doesn't need a
apparently.
sidekick.
No.
No. Of course
No
not.
way.
So I'm really happy because when we interviewed you in, I think it was May at Porch Fest, we weren't really allowed to ask you a whole lot of things about America's Got Talent. So, I mean, the first thing I want to know is, what is it like? I know you auditioned in Dallas, right? Mm-hmm. So what is it like just kind of walking in off the street and auditioning?
Well, you walk in there, and there's so many people. You know, there's a huge line. And you're just like, okay, what do you do? What do you do? Because they all look totally different compared on what their talents are. And it is so crazy because you're just in there, and there's so many people. Because it was at the convention center in Dallas. And we had a queue ticket. I don't know if you know what that is, but basically you get to skip past everyone in line. Thank you, Jesus. And you get to go straight to the producers. So that's what we did, and everyone was just kind of looking at me like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be in line. Like, and you're just like kind of judged by all these people.
Right.
It's pretty crazy because there's so many people. Actually, I saw a few people I know and like waiting in line. And it was just so crazy then, but we went straight to the producers, and I sang 2 or 3 songs, and then they took me to some more producers, and then I sang 2 or 3 more songs. And did I sing? Okay, this might be the truth, but I'm not sure. I think I sang them in front of one of my favorite producers now. Her name is Lucy, and yeah, but she became one of my good friends there. So
over the course of the show, of course, there's, several different weeks that you're on there, and there's, it's kind of like a fight to the finish or whatever. How much control do you have personally over your performances that are going to be shot live?
Well, the first 2 I had mostly full control over. When it started going to the live rounds and everything, we did have some rights to say, like, hey, we like this, but we don't like this. But at that point is when it all started being kind of more important than the other 2 rounds. So they kind of made a lot more decisions, but it was still a lot of fun, and It turned out to be really good.
Cool. And America's Got Talent, when they do these shows, they like to, they'll take your performance, like Kadie Lynn's performance, and they'll put a video of that up on Facebook. And I mean, your stuff got so many views. It was ridiculous. But did you pay attention at all to the social media commentary from people out there at all?
I do pay attention to some. I honestly try and stay away from it all because you never know what could be.
Right. And I mean, there was a lot of people that loved you. There was a lot of people that didn't.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering if you were, reading that stuff.
I mean, I do on occasions, but honestly, I don't really pay attention to the bad comments, unless
That's a good idea.
Unless they're good comments, like to try and improve myself,
Right.
But the good comments, I definitely do read, and I want to thank all you guys out there that are actually giving me good comments. But thank you guys so much.
Yeah, and I mean, I was following it, and I won't lie, I was getting angry at some of those folks.
Me too.
Like, oh my God, really? Come on. It's like you're under this microscope. First of all, you're 12 years old, and most of the people out there, they don't know your history because. And this is one thing I've noticed with that show, because I know you, personally, and they seem to focus a lot on the adopted story and the fact that you're a country girl and the fact that you're young, but they really didn't focus on who Kadie Lynn is, and that's a songwriter and a singer and a guitar player and, a schoolgirl and all of this. The songwriter part of it really angered me a little bit because I know that you're a talented songwriter. And it would have been really, really awesome if the people out there could have seen that. So how frustrating was that for you?
It was a bit frustrating at times. I guess America's Got Talent kind of lead you in a certain direction, and you just have to kind of follow with it. But I totally agree with you. I totally wish I could have got that out there. We couldn't actually. We actually said that in almost every single interview that they had. For me, like my single "Stronger,"
Right.
I've been writing songs, and they always
edited it out.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know why, but
And it's crazy because I mean, if you live here in Texas,
Oh yeah, it's a big deal.
Texas country is a huge thing here,
Yeah.
and the Texas Regional Radio Report is what charts that.
yeah.
And the whole time you're on America's Got Talent, your single "Stronger" is just climbing that chart. And here it is, never mentioned nationally.
Yeah.
And Texas scene is a songwriter's game, so I mean,
But
it's a big
I kind
deal.
of played against that a little bit in social media and everything. Like on my Instagram bio, it has the link to the music video.
Right.
And it says, hey guys, go check out my single "Stronger" down below the link. and I kind of cheated that a bit.
Right.
That's good.
And try and mention it as much as possible.
And of course, through Instagram, that's our main way of communicating. And I bet you didn't know that, Mom.
And Twitter too.
And Twitter, yeah, we talk on Twitter a lot. But you would be up late, and
Yep.
I'm assuming you're probably debating on what steps to take. And I know you're a very, very strong thinking girl, and your mom and your dad help you tremendously with that as well. The strategy is there for you, and you think that way, and that's why I love you, because you think strategically all the time. So when we would talk in between shows, I was always like, man, you need to do House of the Rising Sun. And we had interviewed you at the Alba Country Fair, and you said we might mix up some genres and all of this.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to know how much control the producers had over you.
House of Rising Sun, they thought they really liked it, and that song would have got approved by the certain artists that did it, and they just thought that it was too overdone, I guess, on the show. Because a lot of people have done it on the show and on different shows, I guess. But we thought about changing up the genre a bit. We kind of did at times in certain ways, I guess.
Right.
I kind of went from old country to new country, but
it's kind of hard on a show like that, it seems to me, because
Yeah, they have a certain-
you have such limited amount of time in front of the camera. They don't feel like they can paint the picture as
Yeah.
clearly if you're kind of scooting
and
around
they
too much. Probably.
we kind of brought up the kind of classic rock kind of theme, kind of
Right.
going that direction, maybe doing a song like that. But it never came about. I'm
Right.
not sure why.
Because I know that you're proud of being a country singer, and you're proud of trying to keep traditional country alive. I saw that red carpet interview. Awesome answer, by the way.
Thank you.
But I also know how important it is to you to be versatile and throw that variety out there for your crowd, because we've seen several of your shows, and you're not just a country artist at your shows. I love your rendition of Ain't No Sunshine and Dream a Little Dream, and these are not country songs.
And yet, though, it's filtered through you, which does have a distinctly country sort of perspective on the way that you do art. So, I mean, in a way, she's sort of broadening
Right.
those boundaries, but it is still country, and that's what's cool about it.
Exactly.
It's not as though you're unfocused. You are focused as an artist, I think probably in an oppressive sense, knowing how old you are. But I think that's a really cool thing about Kadie, is that she's sort of pushing the boundaries, but still comes off pretty focused, which is cool.
Right, and what I'm getting at, though, is like with
Thank
America's Got Talent, they seem to just want to focus on Kadie Lynn country.
Yeah.
Like on Twitter, I think I saw Howie say, the only country singer left in our competition. And I'm just like, she's just not, that's not just who she is. So as a fan of Kadie Lynn, I was getting angry at that, because I'm like, man, I got to hear House of the Rising Sun. I got to hear this. I got to hear that, because I know what you've got in you. And I
Eric
know
Burton's just not doing it for you anymore, right? You got to hear Kadie
Well,
do it.
if you haven't heard her do
I have,
that
actually,
song,
and it is a very good
Oh
rendition.
my goodness!
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
I've
cool.
got a version of that on my YouTube that is just
It's awesome.
blam. I mean, everybody comes and listens to it because they know you, and so my YouTube channel gets hits because of that song. Last year at Toys for Tots, if you remember that benefit we did.
Oh my gosh, that was so long ago.
Yes, but you did that song, and I recorded it, and I think I have 2 recordings of you, and that's it. But and we were talking about that on either Twitter or Instagram about House of the Rising Sun or Ain't No Sunshine.
I think that was on Twitter.
I think it was.
Yeah.
But I was hoping that people could see a side of you that we all see of you here, and I just feel like that might have been lost.
A bit, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then no disrespect to you, of course,
Yeah.
because I think you would have had a higher chance of showing who you really are if that would have happened. So what exactly inspires you to write what you write?
Well, basically, I'm a very, I kind of observe everything. I'm a very, what's the word? Observationist, I guess. I don't know. But
We'll go with that.
yeah.
Webster, if you're listening, add it to the dictionary.
But I observe a lot of people, and I observe their situations and their conflicts that they're in, and everything like that. And what I basically try and do is use my knowledge of words and of grammar, and everything like that.
Again, not a very country artist kind of thing to do.
Right.
To observe grammar. How nice of you.
Well, I try as much as I can. I still got the accent, but
Yeah, that makes it come off legit. That's good.
but I use that and I put it into words, and I just use other. Since I'm not even 13 yet, I try and use other people's situations that they're in and use that for songs. Since I don't know much.
Your first single, which was called "Stronger," is adult lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and one question that when we interviewed you in May, I did not know you were adopted.
You didn't?
I did not.
Really?
And so when I heard "Stronger" played back after I knew that you were adopted, the song made a whole lot more sense to me. And we talked about how in the first interview with you, how you shouldn't miss a guy, and it wasn't about that, was it?
Well, it wasn't even about me at all, really. It was actually about other people's situations. Actually, I have a lot of older friends that I hang out with. Actually, most people that I hang out with are 16 and older, just because people my age aren't really,
Well, you're more mature than
Yeah.
They're taking dance class and right.
Yeah, but
While you're playing gigs.
I kind of, since they are at that point where they're just like dating and all of that stuff, I hear about a lot of stuff like that, and I hear about other people's stories and what they're going through. I am a very curious person. I always ask a lot of questions, so I know what to write about.
Right.
So most of the songs that you'll hear aren't even my kind of situations. They're about other people's. So
That is really cool that you can kind of immerse yourself in someone else's situation and come out with a song about it. Because, "Stronger" is, and family, too. I don't know if we can mention that yet. If we can, then great. But family is just, my favorite line is the roller coaster in the first degree. I love that line. I just think it's so visual.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And my girlfriend, we love this song so much, but she pictures like a sitcom with Kadie Lynn in it. When we hear that song, it's like, "Come on in, I'm Kadie Lynn, and we're family."
Yes.
And we see you on a set.
I could see a reality TV show just
Right.
going down in the motorhome.
Hollywood, are you listening? Licensing opportunities?
Yes. Come on in. This is Kadie Lynn. This could be a show.
Look, back to the reality TV show thing. This is kind of off topic, but it's very funny. So my two sisters came up with this amazing idea where my dad, who doesn't say anything, and Tommy, Sal's cousin, a person, my dad, who hardly ever talks in these countries, I'll get out, and Tommy, a little Yankee from Long Island, go in a motorhome and travel the world together and just drive everywhere and just make it a reality TV show.
So it would basically be
Sounds good.
your dad driving and Tommy not shutting up.
Yep. And then I could just go in situations and stuff like that. Kind of like
And the inevitable
Like Taco Bell
blow-ups that would occur.
drive-thrus. Yeah.
I could see that.
That would be a great show
I would.
for sure. There'd be no speaking parts for Daryl. He
D&T.
wouldn't need a script or anything. It'd be perfect for him.
Definitely.
Because reality shows do have scripts, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay.
So you said that the award that you won this past Friday that meant the most to you was female vocalist.
Mm-hmm.
I think singer-songwriter is a huge one as well.
Yeah, they were all so amazing. but
Right.
The female vocalist 2 years
Like
in a
last
row.
year, our
Yeah.
singer-songwriter of the year was Sarah Hobbs, who's doing amazing things now all over
Mm-hmm.
Texas, and so I think that award creatively is probably more recognized, at least by me. If there was an
Yeah.
award that I could win, that would be the one
Yeah.
for sure, because that
Yeah.
that shows people that the people like what you're putting out artistically.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that was a good word.
Good job.
Very nice. Very
Thank
nice.
you.
I applaud you.
Good job.
Thank you. Taking a bow. So, as a singer-songwriter, what does it feel like to have that kind of, I guess, that credibility to know that people like what you're putting out there?
I think it's actually pretty cool because my songs, in my mind, I might think they're good, but then there's certain parts of it I'm just like, I don't really know what other people will think about it. And to know that you guys out there enjoying it, it just makes me so thrilled, and thank you guys so much.
And there were some great songwriters in that category this year. I mean, Darren Morris and Haley McDaniel, and I mean, just top of the notch people. And Kadie Lynn brought that home, and I was so thrilled for that. And I know female vocalist means a lot to you as well.
All of them do.
Right, absolutely. Because I mean, every one of those awards is completely fan voted. So I mean, people are digging Kadie Lynn out there. Where am I at?
Not sure.
You mean that, like, is that an existential question? Or?
No, it's rhetorical.
Gotcha.
Another big word.
Warren Bullard.
All right, so I think I'll go here. I know that we had a couple of people that are very well known in the music industry had commented on Kadie Lynn during the AGT process. I'm just going to name two that I'm aware of, and that's Reba McEntire and Kenny Rogers. And we're talking about the cream of the crop out there. And they both have noticed Kadie Lynn and publicly commented on your talent. So what does it feel like for a 12-year-old singer-songwriter from Kemp, Texas, to know that people like Reba McEntire and Kenny Rogers know your name?
It's so crazy, and actually I got to meet Reba in person on America's Got Talent. That was crazy, because I've always looked up to her. She's always been one of my amazingly idols, and I actually got to see her in person, and getting great responses from her was amazing. Then Kenny Rogers, I was just sitting around in my room one day just playing guitar. My mom goes, "Kadie Lynn, come in here right now." And I'll look at her Facebook page, and it says Kenny Rogers, and it's a whole thing about me. And it was so crazy, because I'm like, he wasn't even a part of the show. He's just a celebrity out there,
just chiming in.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Just wanted to talk about me, and I thought that was so amazing.
It's just, I mean, when I saw that Kenny Rogers post, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think Kenny Rogers is a Texas boy too.
He might be.
I'm pretty sure.
Could be.
Somebody check me out. And
I'm not
correct
sure
me if I'm wrong.
Could be, but I mean, and it was just like two sentences, like check out Kadie Lynn. This young lady's going places, or something like that.
Yeah, and that is enough to get me somewhere.
We're talking about country royalty here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To even say two words about me, like my name,
yeah,
it's crazy.
Absolutely. So I mean, that's got to be really humbling for you, and I know how humble you are as a young lady, and your mom and dad are so good at raising you and keeping you grounded. And,
definitely.
And
my mama won't ever let me get a big head. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
She'll start hitting you with pin cushions and things, right? Trying to get that head smaller. So what are the most important things to you that you have taken away from your experience on America's Got Talent?
Well, that whole experience was so amazing, but yet so kind of, how do I say this, psychotic at the same time. There was a lot of things going on at the same time. There was at one point where I would be in a photo shoot. Okay, you got to go to school. No, wait, you got to go film this. No, wait, you got to do this. And, basically, one thing I learned is to always be prepared. Always, no matter what, have everything that you might wear. Seriously, in the judge cuts, you had to bring so many outfits. You had to bring a casual outfit. You had to bring your outfit at the round before, the one you're wearing for this round. You had to bring your guitar. You had to bring everything you had, basically.
And I know that when you were supposed to be in the first semifinal round, and then they pushed you back to the second week. So you ended up having to spend an extra week out there.
Yeah, actually, I ended up spending over 3 weeks there.
Yeah.
And we had to move my dad's flight and my vocal coach's flight and everyone's flight, basically, because at that time, it was just only me and my mom out there. So it's pretty crazy.
So with the America's Got Talent production and everything, they did, focus a lot on your parents, being adoptive parents and a little bit older as well. And, your mom and your dad, I know they're very important to you.
Yeah.
So how was it? For you as a youngster, how did you feel to see your parents, who chose to love you, get that kind of spotlight as well?
I think it was kind of funny when my mom always got on camera and she was always crying. But my dad, I don't think thinks much of it. I don't think he does think much of being in the spotlight or anything. He's always the same. He never talks. He ain't saying nothing. Right. Unless they make him.
He might not have liked it, but you couldn't tell one way or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know your parents have always kind of been on the periphery of your career,
Yeah.
and you're on stage and they're taking care of everything behind you.
My mom, every time they would be like, "Hey, you need to go do an interview," she'd be like, I gotta go get this first. And she'd take like 30 minutes to do it. She would try and stall as much as possible.
Try to stall. She was just looking probably for onions to cut or something.
Kleenex, yep.
She was looking for the Kleenex.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we talked about this on the live Facebook Live thing,
Mm-hmm.
but on Friday night when you were fixing to perform, and you performed "Family" in front of the East Texas Music Awards audience.
Which will be my next single.
That's right.
Yes.
Shameless plug. Boop boop. We need a cash register like
Cha-ching.
sound effect.
Cha-ching.
There you go. You had mentioned on stage in front of our crowd that night that you were home. And that you going to Hollywood and everything is great, but being on this stage at the East Texas Music Awards felt like home to you. Mm-hmm. So try to describe to people out there, both local and national, how this is home for you.
Well, I mean, it's not that I'm just from here. Everyone here is just like my family. I've basically grown here, grown to be everyone's friend and family and everything. It's just so amazing that this is actually my home, and being here with everyone I've just enjoyed it so much, and I can definitely say what I said that night, Friday night, over and over and over again, because honestly, it was the downright truth.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did say it. People might think it's kind of hypocritical to go from on TV to saying kind of like, oh, this is amazing, but it was amazing. But this is just 100 times better.
Okay, so your new single is called "Family," and we recorded an episode right after your first episode with a guy by the name of Milo Deering. And I understand that he plays on your new single, "Family."
Yeah, we actually had the track recorded, and we actually did have my vocals, but that was a few months ago, and my voice has changed so much. So we're going to have to go back and re-record that. But he is on the track, and
Milo's great.
Yeah, he's amazing, and he sounded amazing on the.
He's out with a little guy. What's some kind of local?
What were the Falcons? No, the Eagles.
Don Henley, right? Yeah, that's good work when you can get it.
Yeah, it is. Playing
Some
Paris
little
and
band.
Rome.
This didn't make the podcast, but I asked him. Actually, I had asked him when he was out earlier for a session we were doing. I said, "Hey, is Don a good boss?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "It's a good tour." And he said, "Yeah. In fact, we don't take the bus anywhere. We take every gig on the Eagles private jet."
Wow.
So
Pretty awesome.
Yeah,
It's tough work if you can get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bless his heart,
I feel so bad for him.
just out there slumming it.
But he's probably one of the best musicians from the East Texas
Yeah.
area.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I mean, he plays
It's amazing.
everything. He plays everything like I play a pencil,
Like I click a pin.
Yeah, exactly. So, Kadie Lynn Day.
Yeah.
I forget the date. June 30th. No, I don't. It was June 30th.
Yep.
And that was also the reason why I remember it, is because that's the day the finalists were announced. And I got to tell you all the awards that you were nominated for on stage, which was a huge, huge pleasure of mine, privilege, really. I got to announce that in front of 1,000 of Kadie Lynn's screaming fans out there in Gun Barrel City. And 7 nominations this year for Kadie. And the dress you were wearing that day was built for a star. Where'd you get that dress?
I got that dress from Everything That Blings, and let me tell you what, that dress, when I tried it on, it was a bit big in some places, but you know what? We had to go get it altered because that dress was too much me. I mean, it was just me written all over it.
Absolutely. And the boots, where'd the boots come from?
Bodacious boots. That's the only kind of boots I'll wear because you know what? They're so comfortable, and they're so blinged out. Let me just tell you this. This might be bad to say, but you'll never go back to Corral. Ever.
So she's built for commercials, too.
She nailed that one.
She's on
Not
it.
unless, of course, they come talking.
She's on top of it. Yeah. Just to let you guys know out there, this episode of ETX Rocks is actually sponsored by Everything That Blings in Kilgore, Texas on Main Street. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need something blingy, that's where you go. Ladies, get your dresses, your accessories, everything out there. And guys, if you get in trouble, That's where you go. Get your lady a dress or
That's good stuff to
Let
know
me just
right
tell
there.
you what,
right.
that
Not that I
place
ever
is
get in trouble with
awesome.
my wife.
I've been there. I tried on so many things, and I actually got another dress from there that I got 3 dresses from there, I think.
Is that a question? Are you asking me, Katie?
What? What?
And when you go to Everything That Blings, you never know who you might run into in there. You might
Yeah.
run into Kadie Lynn or
I
Allie
ran into
Venable.
you one time.
Huh? What'd you say?
I ran into you one time.
Oh, wait a
That
minute
is
here.
true.
Wait. We got to talk about this for a minute. Oh, you must have just been in trouble. Okay. You weren't buying a dress for yourself.
No.
I see. Yeah.
No. They don't have anything that'll fit me there.
He was in there for the
Otherwise,
tight
then-
leggings.
Yeah, tight leggings. They were cheetah print. Yeah,
I
I
would pay
rocked
good
the cheetah,
I'd
baby.
pay good money to see that.
No,
Me
you
too.
wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
I would.
Of course, in your wrestling days, perhaps you wore some cheetah print tights. I don't know.
It's possible.
Yeah. I think so.
I was a cheater from time to time.
Yes.
But I don't know about a cheetah
your heel
print.
days.
A cheater print.
So what are Kadie Lynn's future goals?
Well, my main goal for my entire life has not been to get famous. You know, that would be so amazing, but it's really not my main goal. My main goal is just to sing the rest of my life and do what I love no matter what.
Awesome answer. And I know when we talked in May that you gave some phenomenal advice for young people, and it was to stay grounded in the Word of God. Mm-hmm. And I know you're a huge believer in God and the Bible, and you take a lot of your advice straight from the Bible. So. Mm-hmm. Again, if there's young people out there listening, and I know they probably are, because a lot of young people know who Kadie Lynn is now. So you now have the opportunity to mentor, even at your age. So what would you have to say for people out there that just about chasing their dreams?
Well, about chasing your dreams, you know, there's not really much you can do in that situation. Just if you're really pushing towards it, then you will definitely get somewhere. You just got to try hard and push yourself to the limits, no matter what, and get out there, do tons of gigs, and to kind of do what I've been doing. I've been doing this for years and years and years, and I thought I'd be stuck like this for a little while, but you know what? It paid off, so that's what you got to know. No matter how long you got to wait, something good is bound to happen.
There's no substitute for hard work, is there?
No, not at all.
Yeah, and I'm one to tell you, this young lady right here is one of the hardest working people in the business
Yes,
in East
indeed.
Texas.
Thank you.
And a lot of people will say, well, she's doing good for her age. No, she's not. She's doing good. Period.
Oh, you
Thank
don't know.
you.
I mean, I have so many opportunities to talk to artists, and I give that advice all the time where people are looking for some way other than just getting out there and hustling and working hard. And there really is nothing to say. I mean, that's
You
the
can't.
only way to do it, particularly now in the state that the record industry is in. No record labels are going around just looking for people in their bedroom that can sing good in the shower. That's
right.
just
Yeah.
not how it works. So you're
You
doing
gotta
it the
have
right way.
experience.
That's it. That is the secret.
And that's one thing about these reality shows too that people have the wrong idea about is like, okay, this
You don't get discovered.
right. It's like Kadie Lynn just came out of nowhere and she's got extremely lucky to be on this show and now everybody knows who she is. No. Do some research. Kadie Lynn has been around since 3 years old. She's almost 13 now. She gigs every weekend. She's taking songwriting classes and vocal classes and guitar classes, and I mean she busts her butt for this. And the false kind of stuff that you can get from a reality show, people see that and she's a semifinalist,
Yeah,
she's
overnight
made
sensation.
for life and all of this. No, that's
that
not
don't mean
how
you
it
gotta
happens.
stop working.
Right.
No.
Exactly. That's not how it happens.
A famous
You know?
producer one time was taught he had managed several very big names, and someone had told him, or probably a bunch of people told him, "Man, you sure are lucky, to have hit it that many times with so many different artists." He said, "The longer that I do this in this business, the more luck starts to look like hard work."
Right.
It starts looking more and more like hard work all the time. This thing called luck.
Well, I can tell you from personal experience of working with Kadie personally. We've worked on 2 benefits together. She played at one that we did called East Texas Rocks Against Breast Cancer, and then a Toys for Tots drive in December of last year, where literally the only people there listening to Kadie Lynn was my family and her family, and that's it. But she was out there on December 10th playing for nobody.
You got to do that stuff.
But she believes that's the thing, she'll play for free to help somebody. You know, that's part of paying your dues, I think.
Yep.
You know, and a lot of artists don't do that. But, you know, that's something that nationally people won't know about Kadie Lynn. So I want people out there to know how many benefits and charitable organizations that Kadie works for and does shows for and travels, you know, hundreds of miles to do. She lives in Kemp, Texas, and she did a show for us in Longview, which is what, 3 hours? So, I mean, we're talking about a 3-hour drive there, a 3-hour drive home for one set, which was 45 minutes, just to help somebody with cancer. You know, that is not somebody that gets discovered overnight.
Right.
That is somebody that is working for her craft and making sure that she's paying it forward too. And I have to keep reminding people that she's 12 years old and doing this. So she's a huge example for all kinds of entertainers and artists and everything out there to always pay it forward, no matter how big your name gets, no matter what town you're living in. Obviously, you know, most people are in this business for money and for fame and for recognition or whatever. But Kadie Lynn, personally speaking, is one of those few that keeps it real and keeps it local and tries to give back. And I wanted to thank you for that.
Thank you. And
I think it's important for people out there to know, you know, the struggles that you've had to get to where you are. It wasn't just some producer finding you and discovering you. And this will be the day that we'll remember that we discovered Kadie Lynn. I can't do his accent, but you know, there's a lot of people out there.
I probably could, but being on the spot, no, I'm not doing it.
So we talked about the celebrity death match June 1st on the first episode between you and Simon Cowell. So how'd that come out?
Well, it wasn't a death match, I wouldn't think. People were kind of nervous when I said I was going to be on America's Got Talent, and Simon Cowell just joined the show. That's a huge thing, because watching him back in other shows like American Idol, The X Factor, tons of other shows like that, he has been very harsh. Putting that nicely, he's been very harsh. But honestly, I think he softened up a bit. Probably because he's had a kid. You got to be nice when you have a kid.
That does change things a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. But he was actually very nice to me. He gave me some really great advice, and he actually gave me yes, and every single time, actually, and it was pretty awesome.
And how much interaction is there between you and the judges off camera?
You know, there's not much, but after the show, after the semifinal show, the performance show, we were on the red carpet, and I got to talk to him for a bit, and he hugged me, got a picture, and he said just keep pursuing it no matter what. And on the results show live, Nick actually asked Simon Cowell, so what do you think about your golden buzzer leaving the contest? He didn't just mention Callista, which is one of my great friends. Callista actually pulled me up right beside her and had me stand right beside her. And honestly, those kind of people are what make it the contest. Those kind of people are the kind you want to stick around with. Callista didn't just pull me up into just right beside her. She pulled me up into her spotlight. And then Simon Cowell started talking about me too. And I thought that was very sweet.
So do you have any regrets?
Not at all.
Do you do everything exactly the same again? Mm-hmm. Awesome.
I would.
That's a great answer. So what's next that you can tell us?
I don't know if there's anything that I can tell you right now, but
More hard work.
Definitely.
Yep.
And a lot of big opportunities right now going on. We're trying to make a lot of decisions right now. There's definitely a lot of stuff that has come up right after the show, so you guys just keep a lookout.
And where can people find you on social media?
You can, well, all you got to really do is look up my name on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and actually I'm post on Snapchat a lot, kind of what I'm doing every day, and that's Kadie_Lynn21.
Kadie with a D.
With a D. But on all my
For
social...
those moments when you want to make yourself look like a cat,
Right?
you got it going.
What is that about?
Oh, my kids do it. My wife does it like crazy. It's funny.
So we've got your social media out there. You guys make sure you check her out on Facebook. it's Kadie Lynn, KADIELYNN. Also, she has another page for her full band, which was Kadie Lynn and Pure Fate, which is PURFATE.
Yep.
And of course, Kadie Lynn on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. She's everywhere.
And actually, on every social media, if you guys forget any of that, then on every single social media site, it has all my other social medias.
Right.
So kind of makes it a little
and
easier.
you can also
for you
get
guys.
her single at KadieLynnMusic.com, I believe. You can also call your local radio stations throughout the nation and request. I don't care if you live in Canada. I don't care if you live in Montana, Florida. You got to hear these songs. Australia, awesome. Down under, mate. That was so bad. So I wanted to give you an opportunity, if you wanted to thank the folks with America's Got Talent.
I definitely want to, because they gave me a lot of exposure, and it's a great opportunity, and I definitely learned a lot from it. And I want to say thank you to everyone that got me out there, all the producers that I made great friends with, and the judges too, and America. So thank you guys so much.
And last but not least, we talked about this on Facebook Live about Team Kadie Lynn. Let's see if you can remember some of those names, and then we'll be done.
I already remember all of them.
Okay, let's do it.
My mom, my dad, my Aunt Cindy, Kelly Thomas, which is Crazy Kelly. Both my sisters and my brothers, and Janie, my vocal coach, John DeFore, and Rick Richards, and I didn't want to mention his name.
Oh, man.
Richard Harden. People don't need to know I'm friends with him, Mom.
Keep that on the down level.
That's what he says. He says people don't need to know I'm friends with him.
That's funny.
He's a great guy, but I want to thank everybody on that list and everyone that I did forget to mention. You guys, love you all so much, and thank you guys for 100% of support and for all the love you guys have shown me over the years.
And we want to thank you, Kadie Lynn, for coming on ETX Rocks again. I hope this is kind of your home away from home. We love having you on the show.
It's been amazing here.
And we'll do it again, hopefully several times. And episode 1, episode 30.
Episode 60.
Hey,
Might as well,
sounds
every 30
good.
episodes.
We'll do every 30.
It's good.
All right.
Sounds
You heard
good.
that?
Awesome.
Every 30 episodes, we'll do Kadie Lynn right here on ETX Rocks. We'll turn her into Ed McMahon.
Yeah.
Chad, do you have anything else?
Great interview. No, sounds great.
Thank
Keep it
you.
up. Keep it up.
Once
Thank you
again,
so
we want to
much.
thank everybody out there for tuning in to ETX Rocks. Remember, this will be out etxrocks.podbean.com. Make sure you like us on Facebook. It's ETX Rocks on Facebook. We have 2 episodes every week. We want to thank Malden Productions. You can go to maldenprod.com to check them out. And we want to thank Everything That Blings in Kilgore, Texas for sponsoring this great episode 30 of ETX Rocks. Remember, you guys out there, keep on supporting local music and...
Oh, I was like, why are you pointing at me? ETX Rocks. Thank you guys so much.
Hello everybody, this is Rio Wallace, and I am inviting you all to come out to the store Everything That Blings whenever you get the chance, which should be very, very soon if you have not already stopped by. So yes, the discounts are still here, the fashion is still here, the exquisite jewelry, exquisitely priced, whatever word my Spanish teacher tried to tell me. Anyway, so come on out. We are here from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday to Friday, and open 10 to 6 every Saturday. So come on out and we will joyously craft you with an outfit that will be outstanding.
We are ETX Rocks!